Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we present the case study of financial ratio. The company that we are choose is Habsan Plantation Holding Berhad. Our group members are Muhammad Ikmal, Muhammad Syami, Muhammad Amirun Haziq, and Muhammad Nur Arizuddin. Okay, for the introduction, the Habsan Plantation is an oil palm plantation company that lists on Bursa Malaysia and is the one of the company the largest producers of the sustainable palm oil in Sabah. It is focused on the activity in the palm oil that or industry where is grow oil palm in estate, also the harvest the palm oil and process the fresh fruit bunch into the crude palm oil, and the process depend on its own mills. As a major players in Sabah, Habsan Plantation pride itself and its operation efficiently as it consistently that record one of the highest yield for the fresh fruit bunch. For Habsan Plantation, the current of land is around 40,279 hectare that across 5 estate. First is Jericho Group Estate, second is Temanggung Group Estate, third is Sungai Segama, fourth is Ladang Kawu, and last is Pilipikan and Kota Marudu Estate. As a seasonal planters, Habsan Plantation has adopted the industry-based agriculture that practice it is estate and is a participant of the RSPO certification program. The RSPO certification, it has also set the aside areas for biodiversity conservation, that including the conservation of Bukit Kibos and their maintenance and protection of riparian buffer zone, as well and retention of the designation high conservation value in their plantation. Some plantation also has owned and operate for roundtable on the sustainable palm oil RSPO and certified palm oil mills. Okay, next is a financial highlight for the income in ringgit Malaysia. The first is revenue, then the amount is RM 467,595 ringgit. Second is profit before the interest and tax amount is RM 110,020 ringgit. Next is the profit before the tax is RM 108,400. Last is profit attributable to owners of the company is 90,296 ringgit. For the financial positions also in ringgit Malaysia, first is the total asset is RM 2,181,885 ringgit. Second is asset is RM 1,714,826 ringgit. Third is current asset is 380,377. Next for the financial position, first is for the liabilities. For the current liabilities is RM 48,269 ringgit. And the last for the financial position is first paid up that share capitals RM 1,475,578. Second is shareholder equity RM 1,714,826. And for the last is the number of share that's divided by 2. The week average share in issue net of the treasury share is 799,885 ringgit. Then for the share in issue nets of treasury share is RM 799,885 ringgit. Okay, next we go to share informations. for the basic earning in cents is 11.29 cent. Next is net asset in RM 2.14, and third is dividend also in cents around 7.00 cent. For its share price, there's in 3 dividers. First, 4 years high in RM is 2.02. Second is years low also in RM is 1.25, and last at 31 December also in RM is 1.80. Next, for market capitalization in RM are 1,439,433. Then last for the share information is trading volume in Ringgit Malaysia are 40,517 ringgit. Financial highlight for financial ratio. First, return on total tangible assets in percent are 4.14%, and second for the return on shareholder equity also in percent 5.27%, and last for the financial ratio is current ratio 7.88 times.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Syahmi bin Muhammad Zulkifli from AT2206A. Today, I will explain about the financial ratio of Habsam Plantation. Firstly, let me explain about the liquidity ratio, which is current ratio and quick ratio. Okay, we move to the current ratio first. To find the current ratio, the total asset must be divided to the total current liabilities. It stated that on 2018, the current ratio was 5.48 times. And on the 2019, the current ratio was 4.82 times, and on 2020, the current ratio was 7.88 times. The liquidity ratio for Habsam Plantation Holding Berhad on 2020 was good because the current ratio of Habsam Plantation Holding Berhad on 2020 was 7.88 times, where it shows that it has the highest value compared on 2019, which is 5.48 times, and 2019, which is 4.82 times, and it indicates that the organization can pay its in short-term liabilities by 2020. Okay, now I will explain about the quick ratio. To find the quick ratio, the total current asset must be minus to the inventory and minus to prepaid expenses, and the total of that must be divided to the total current liability. It stated that on 2018, the quick ratio was 3.53 times, and on 2019, the quick ratio was 3.81 times, and on 2020, the quick ratio was 6.76 times. The liquidity ratio for Habsam Plantation Holding Berhad on 2020 was good because the quick ratio of Habsam Plantation Holding Berhad on 2020 was 6.76 times, where it shows that it has the highest value compared to the 2019, which is 3.53 times, 2019, which is 3.81 times. It shows that the company able to pay its in the short-term obligation without rely on inventories on 2020. Okay, now we move to the activity ratio, which is inventory turnover, average collection period, and total asset turnover. Firstly, let me explain about the inventory turnover. To calculate the inventory turnover, the cost of goods sold must be divided to the inventory. Okay, this table shows the result of inventory turnover by year. From this table, it stated that on 2018, the inventory turnover was 3.40 times. On 2019, the inventory turnover was 6.33 times, and on 2020, the inventory turnover was 5.73 times. The activity ratio of the Habsam Plantation in 2019 was good because the inventory turnover of Hapseng Plantation on 2019 was 6.33 times, where it shows that it has the highest value compared to the 2018 and 2020. It shows that the company was efficient in using its inventory and holding excess unproductive stocks in 2019. Okay, now we move to the second point, which is average collection period. To find the average collection period, as you can see, the account receivable must be divided to the total of net sales that divided by 360 days. It stated that on 2018, the average collection period was 14.10 days, and on 2019, 25.82 days, and on 2020, 24.52 days. The activity ratio for the Hapseng Plantation on 2018 was relatively good because the average collection period of Hapseng Plantation in 2018 was 14.10 days, where it shows that it has the shortest day in collect its receivable compared to the 2019 and 2020. It is show that the company was good in managing its credit sales on 2018. Okay, for the last that I will explain is total asset turnover. To find this, and the net sales must be divided to the total asset. It stated that on 2018, the total asset turnover was 0.19 times, and on 2019, the total asset turnover was 0.20 times, and on 2020, the total asset turnover was 0.21 times. The activity ratio for the Hapseng Plantation on 2020 was relatively good because the total asset turnover of Hapseng Plantation on 2020 was 0.20 times, 21 times, where it shows that it has the highest value compared to the 2018 and 2019. It shows that the company able to manage all its resources to generate sales on 2020.
Next, we look into the leverage ratio. First leverage ratio is debt ratio. The debt ratio in 2018 was 20.85%, 22.70% in 2019, and 21.41% in 2020. The leverage ratio for Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2018 was reasonably excellent since the debt ratio was 20.85%, which is the lowest number compared to 2019 and 2020. It demonstrates that the company financial risk in 2018 is low. Next in leverage ratio is time interest earned. Time interest earned in 2018 was 38.5 times. Time interest earned in 2019 was 13.09 times, and time interest earned in 2020 was 42.91 times. The activity ratio for Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2020 was strong because the time interest earned by Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2020 was 42.91 times, which is higher than the value of 13.9 times and 38.5 times in 2019 and 2018. This indicates that the year 2020 will have an acceptable level of interest coverage, which has grown from the previous year. Next, we go to profitability ratio. First profitability ratio is operating profit margin. The operating profit margin for 2018 was 9.51%. For 2019, it was 8.73%, and for 2020, it was 23.18%. The profitability ratio for Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2020 was very excellent since the operating profit margin of Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2020 was 23.18%, which is higher than the values of 9.51% and 8.73% in 2018 and 2019. It demonstrates that the firm can earn enough money from its operations to cover all of the expenditures associated with maintaining the company's success in 2020. Next is net profit margin. The operating profit margin in 2018 was 7.45%. The net profit margin in 2019 was 7.51%, and the net profit margin in 2020 was 19.31%. The profitability ratio for Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2020 was very excellent since the net profit margin of Hapseng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2020 was 19.31%, which is higher than the values of 7.45% and 7.51% in 2018 and 2019. It demonstrates that the firm has more favorable growth outlook and will create net earnings for shareholders in 2020. Next in profitability ratio is return on total assets. The total asset return in 2018 was 7.45%, 1.47% in 2019, and 4.14% in 2020. The profitability ratio for Hub Seng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2018 was pretty excellent, since the return on total assets of Hub Seng Plantation Holding Berhad in 2018 was 7.45%, the highest value compared to 2019 and 2020. It demonstrates that the firm can reduce costs in its operation and generate a sufficient return in 2018.
In conclusion, the analysis of financial statement is the process of examining an organization's financial records for decision-making reasons. Each company had to analyze its financial ratio to avoid losses, create profit, and attract new shareholders to maintain their market growth. The company must then find or plan to solution that problem that caused its debt to equity ratio to rise. Although their debt equity is low, there are stable companies seen that have better profitability value ratio. Investors may easily utilize ratio analysis, since every data necessary to assess the ratio can be found in the company financial report. Knowing the driving ratio of variable important in some instances, management may alter its strategy to make its stock a business ratio more appealing. This will encourage additional stakeholders to invest in our company. For recommendation, Hub Seng Plantation has a strong profit margin. The firm might go bankrupt if it does not reduce its debt to equity ratio. The debt equity ratio was low, which fall under the category leverage ratio. Increasing income to ensure standby debt to equity ratio is one approach to decrease the risk having to high debt equity ratio. When earning increasing, the firm may need to reinvest money by expanding assets or pay off debt. This increasing equity that maintain the debt to equity ratio. Businesses sell and company reserves are expected to grow at the same time. If sale revenue double, the company assets might double as well. Even if the firm borrowed more cash, the debt to equity ratio will not explode in this manner. Lastly, they must keep track of all their debt by gathering all papers, including mortgages, other loans and credit cards, and paying off all outstanding balance sheets. They must also be aware of the extent to which their company's recurrent costs are assessed. The research will assist them to understand which creditors view and identify any debts they have overlooked. This can help you get out of debt. That's all from us. Thank you.